Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day one of Super Skill Week. It's finally here, and before we can get to it, we got to wrap up last week. So let's go ahead and get that done and out of the way. Let's look at our final sleep report from last week, and let's see if maybe we got anything interesting to show up. With the way last week went, very, very unlucky, so I imagine we're probably not going to get anything too crazy, but we did see a Farfetch'd yesterday, so it is possible if we get slumbering again. I didn't sleep that well, so probably not slumbering. Yeah, I did not sleep that well. That is looking very dozy, but that's a lot of slumbering. Still more dozing. Kind of had a feeling. I'm a bit on the tired side today because I didn't sleep that well, but you know, that's all part of it. Sometimes you just don't sleep that well, and it is what it is, but at least we got the good sleep day bonus to help us out with our drowsy power a little bit. The final day of the good sleep day, so it'll be multiplied by 1.5. So that's going to give us 416 million drowsy power. We got a couple of 3 stars in, well, three stars in there, which is really nice. Maybe that means some good things for our research XP. That would be nice. Ooh, a top belly Masquerada. That is new. Very good. Very good. Let's see what else we can get. Hopefully some nice stuff. So far, I only see the Ghastly and the Masquerada. Not really stuff I want to catch. Metapod, Arbok, Ghastly, Gengar, Drifblim, Caterpie. I mean, yeah. The Caterpie is really the only thing so far that I want to catch, but we do have 2 new sleep styles. Only one of them is the Masquerada, so we'll see what the other one could be. 10,000 research XP just on that one alone. Very good. Very nice. All right, was that the last one, or we still need one more? We still need the 2-star. All right. Still need that 2-star sleep style, and then we've got one new one. It's never the direction I go. You would think that, 50-50 odds I'd get it eventually. No, I always get it wrong. Charge-a-Bug, however, the 2-star sleep. So not a ton of XP and Dream Shards, but still pretty good. Pretty good. It's better than a 1-star. That's for sure. That is the last one we needed for Charge-a-Bug, though. So Charge-a-Bug, sleep styles all completely done. All right. So yeah, out of everything here, it looks like Caterpie is the only thing I am any kind of interested in catching. And honestly, just to get a catch, I think I'm going to go ahead and catch that Metapod since we had already worked on it before, just to get something. So we'll catch that Metapod. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll have berry finding. That's really what we need. We'll see here in a minute. Here pretty soon. For now, we are going to at least get a decent amount of research XP, but first we need to figure out what candy am I sending out. Definitely not Drifloon candy, because that's a terrible idea. But I do think, yeah, Masquerada candy is the one. Ooh, you know what? I feel like I hear people complain about not having enough grubbing candy more than I do Sprigatito candy, so we'll send that one out instead, just to help out. And we are going to get 25,040 research XP. Nice. I was going to be happy just to break 20, so 25,000 is pretty good. And then 32,739 Dream Shards. Pretty good. Pretty good. Cannot complain about that. All right, we got level 17 in Bashful. That is not berry finding at level 10. Maybe we can at least get it somewhere. Triple Honey. That's interesting. Okay. Ooh, we do. Actually, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Inventory up S, berry finding at 25. That's not bad. Skill trigger S is good. We don't need the double inventory, so inventory up M is not great. Ingredient finder at 100 also not fantastic, but at least we've got the inventory space for ingredient finder once we actually get there. And this one's Bashful. Honestly, this is probably the one. We'll probably keep trying to catch more, but this will be the one that we invest in if we need one for expert mode or something like that. At least we've got a really good berry finding bug type Pokemon finally. This one probably going to be like 80-ish. It doesn't have a lot going for it other than berry finding. The inventory up is not necessary, neither of them. It really needs some speed. Skill trigger is nice on this one because it is ingredient magnet, so it does help us. But really, if we could get a helping speed, berry finding, skill trigger with a speed up nature, inventory or ingredient down nature, adamant would be very, very good. But I'm just happy to get a berry finding Butterfree finally. As much as I used Butterfree in the early days, As I'm sure a lot of you have seen going through the sleep journal recently. As much as I used Butterfree in the early days, it's nice to actually get one that actually does its proper job and not as just a weird pseudo honey gatherer that I was using for a while. But this one could be pretty decent if only it had speed. That's the only thing that's missing from this one. Other than that, though, PR74 is way better than any other Butterfree we've had so far. So, still pretty good. We're going to go ahead and lock this in. Looks like 74 is where it's topping out. So not quite 80 that I thought, but still not bad. Still not bad. And then we'll save this as a Metapod at level 17. Job done. Job done. All right, good. Well, that's a good start. That's a good start to the week. Maybe that means good things. We'll see. We'll see if we get some more good things out of this week. For now, though, we got to wrap up our weekly summary, get that done, and then we can finally move on to Super Skill Week, which I'm really looking forward to. We should be able to start off pretty well. But first things first, weekly summary. Goodbye, Snorlax. We'll see you next time, bud. And week 107. Okay. Week 107, Master 11 is what we made it to, which is better than last week. We got 2,774,349 final strength with 699,894 gains from berries and 2,074,455 gains from cooking. I feel like it's pretty decent hybrid numbers for my personal playstyle. So I feel like we didn't get to make Clodsire Eclairs as much as I wanted, but we had some really bad luck with skill triggers this week. So that didn't help really at all. So it's kind of a problem, but it is what it is. Not much we can do about it. At least we still got an overall grade of A. I guess I went to bed late one time, sleep midpoint. Yeah. My bedtime was a bit all over the place this week. That makes sense. All right. Well, 4 small handy candies, not bad at all. We're just going to go straight back to OGPP though, because that is where all of these boosted spawns are. For a lot of these skill specialists that we need, new area sound data. So we got some new tunes. Is that what it is? I can barely hear it, so I'm gonna have to that still sounds like the regular music. I gotta stop talking and really listen. We got desserts and drinks first try. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. That is exactly what we wanted. And we already have what we need to make our first meal as well. A small dream cluster for finishing up our stamp card. Very good. I can't really hear it. I'm sure I'll hear it in post, and I'm sure it's fantastic, but I can't really hear it right now. I have the speakers so low so that it doesn't get picked up on the mic, so I can barely hear. But got a lot of stuff from Clodsire, a lot of stuff from Dragonite. I was about to say, if we don't get a skill trigger on Tyranitar, I'm going to be very surprised. Usually, all 3 of them trigger overnight. So that would have been very weird. We can get a pot expansion here, though, from Meowscarada. That'll be very nice. Also getting a nice little jump start, 1,300 there. It's not much, but it all adds up. Can we get a skill trigger here to throw a little bit of extra herbs in there? Nope. Sad day. Sad day, but it is what it is. And what it is we already have everything we need for, you know what? Actually, we're going to do a thing. We're going to do a thing. Because Gardevoir failed us terribly yesterday, so we're actually going to switch into our dessert team first. Look at these energy levels. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Gardevoir not doing the job. But I'm going to go ahead and swap into this team, and I'm going to hope that Super Skill Week means that Gardevoir is actually going to show up this week. But I'm going to go ahead and make breakfast now so that they get a little bit of energy. It ain't going to be much, but I say it all the time. It all adds up. So, hopefully it helps, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot we don't have a boosted pot space for this one, but that's fine because my plan was to use a good camp ticket anyway. So we got 2 of them. No worries. We'll get another one here in a few weeks, and we'll have plenty for whenever the beasts come back around if we do want to use it for that. But gonna use it here. Gonna get this Clodsire Eclair. We're gonna be making it all week. We have two extra space. So getting a few skill triggers here and there would really help to boost these Clodsire Eclairs to help us get to the high ranks this week. Base 10% full extra tasty odds to start the week and a berry finding Butterfree. I'm thinking these are good signs. 245,056 is a really, really good way to start this week. That'll put us at, let's see, what is that? That's going to be like Great 2, maybe? Maybe if we're lucky. I may be very overzealous on that one. Might be a bit overzealous. Oh no, that said Great 2, but you know, we know this game likes to tell lies. So we'll see what's up. Let's see if it's actually true. Basic 1 does say Great 2. Oh, it is Great 2. That's okay. Well, there we go. Immediately to Great 2, almost to Great 3. Nice. I'll take that. I will definitely take that, and I will not complain. What? Good. Good. All right, let's go ahead and grab our sleep points. Our 700 sleep points from Good Sleep Day. We get the 500 bonus. That puts us at a grand total of 5,920, and that means we've got plenty of sleep points to spend on biscuits and stuff this week. And we are gonna grab our daily lottery. It's gonna give us a small ingredient ticket, which is, you know, it's an item for free, so it's something. It's something. All right, let's move on. Let's go ahead and check. We don't have any new news, which is unfortunate. I wanted some new news, but it is okay. We'll get some soon, I believe. For now, we've got some community reports, 40 of them. Not too bad. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that doubled up. Nice. A little over 25%. Very good. Very good indeed. All right. Back it on up. I did already change the team to the dessert team, but that was just to get some energy on them. For now, though, I do want to check my pantry, see how we're looking. We should be in a good spot other than milk. That is the one thing we are slacking on, but Big Boy Blastoise should solve that problem. We shouldn't have any issues with that. We do need to keep Vikavolt and Big Boy Blastoise on the team, but that frees up 2 slots. We don't actually need Venusaur just yet. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to keep Venusaur on the team. I do have enough honey to get us through the rest of the day, but we don't want Venusaur on the team overnight because we don't want it to gain XP. We don't want it to hit 60. So we'll leave Venusaur on the team for now. So that means that we have a choice. We either swap out Raichu for Dedenne, or we leave Raichu on the team. And honestly, given Raichu's energy levels at the moment, I think I'm gonna leave him on the team and hope that Super Skill Week gives us what we need and we get some triggers from Gardevoir very quickly. If we do, then I'll swap into Dedenne, try to get some extra tasty odds, because the earlier we can get those extra tasties, the better, because we have a long way to go to get to 8 spawns. We need almost 1 million strength before we get the 8 spawns here on OGPP. So the faster we can get there, the better. We already started off really well getting that very, very lucky full odds extra tasty for breakfast. If we could do that with lunch, that'd be fantastic, but we got a ways to go. So we're going to see what happens with Gardevoir. And hopefully it goes better than last week. Surely it can't go worse than last week. I mean, I don't know how you get worse than essentially no skill triggers. I feel like Gardevoir, every day that it even got a skill trigger, was averaging 1 a day. So yeah, can't go worse than last week. That's for certain. So we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm actually going to leave the team as is. We're going to stock up some coffee. We're going to stock up some milk and cocoa. Probably run a different overnight team. As much as I want to run Prime XP, I think we might let the ingredient gatherers run overnight as well, except for Venusaur. We don't want Venusaur on the team. And so probably going to swap in Dedenne overnight on top of that. Which still leaves us room to put Raichu on the team. We could have Raichu, Big Boy Blastoise, Vikavolt, I almost said Venusaur, wrong V, Vikavolt, Dedenne, and Gardevoir. And that should hopefully set us up for success very quickly. We will be making Clodsire Eclairs the entire week, so we're not going to drop down unless I get lucky and catch up Farfetch'd and we're at like Master 10. Then I might switch to Zingzap Cola to get some XP on it. But that's a big if, and also it's boosted skill specialist, so almost certainly not getting a Farfetch'd this week. Especially not a good one because my luck has been terrible with Farfetch'd. But speaking of Super Skill Week, let's go ahead and review these buffs real quick just so that it's refreshed in our minds. On all days, the chance of triggering the main skill of Helper Pokemon with a skill specialty will be multiplied by 1.5, so we should see 50% boosts in skill triggers. Hopefully it's not 50% over last week, because that still only leaves us with 1.5 per day on average from Gardevoir, which is terrible. Well, we'll see. And then main skill levels of Helper Pokemon with the skill specialty will be boosted by 3 when they trigger, which is very nice. So if you have a Pokemon that has, energy for everyone, which I think the skill cap is still 6. So you only need it to be at level 3 and it will get level 6 energy for everyone whenever it triggers. Same thing for any skill. If the main skill level is maxed out at 7, you just need to have it at 4. It'll just be 7 for free, which is really nice. Very nice. Makes it easy for some of these Pokemon that you haven't had the seeds to invest into shine a little bit, which is fantastic. Nice to see some of these lesser used Pokemon get some time in the limelight. We also get the mini candy boost. I forgot about that. How did I forget about the mini candy boost? We got the mini candy boost. I gotta figure out who I want to use it on. I still am not sure, but we'll see. A few Pokemon of different sleep types will appear during sleep research regardless of your sleep type that day. So we got Pseudo Balanced, which is also nice. And then we got the boosted spawn rates of all the skill specialists. So that is why we're on OGPP. It has a lot of very useful skill specialists that spawn here. So very, very good. And then for our missions for Super Skill Week, we have Get Snorlax to Basic 2, which gives us that Toxel Incense, which is another reason why we're here at OGPP, trying to get us a Toxel, even though it's not got the best stats, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. I'll save that for later. We get to Ultra 1, we got 5 biscuits. Get to Master 1, we get 30 Toxel Candy. Give out 15 biscuits for 8,000 Dream Shards. Use 100 candies for a Friend Incense. Use 7 incense for 25 Toxel Candy. And go to bed on time 3 times for 8,000 more Dream Shards. And cook 12 times for 5 small handy candies, which is not bad. Very good rewards. At least we, I was about to say, nope, I was going to say, at least we don't have the use 7 incense. And I don't know how I just immediately forgot it. That's how much I am not the biggest fan of it. It's not that bad every once in a while, but I'm not the biggest fan. So it's there. We got to do that too. Get to Great 2, which we already did, gives us 2,000 Dream Shards. The rest of these are pretty straightforward. I do need to use 279 candies, but we have mini candy boosts, so that will almost certainly happen this week without really having to try all that hard. So not too bad. This is going to be the interesting one. Give out 2,000. Oh no, it's 2,000 berries, not favorite berries. So that's fine. We should get that one, no problem. But Skill Week missions, all pretty standard, pretty easy. Shouldn't have an issue for pretty much anybody to get them. So no worries there, no worries at all. Speaking of mini candy boost, I think I've got an idea. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back. We're going to use the Prime XP team as our template for who we should be using these mini candy boosts on. I don't have enough Dratini candies to use it on Dragonite right now. But what I do have is the ability to get you to level 60 very soon, I believe. Yep, can't use any more. What I want to do is I want to go to... Let's go ahead and back it on up. I want to go to the Pokemon EXP calculator, drop down optimal candy usage. My head is right in the way. It's right here. These little highlights. Go to optimal candy usage. We are going to plug this in and see if we want to use all 50 or not. So this Clodsire is level 56 with target level of 60. And it has 2,090 XP to go. We have 358 candies. And we should be able to get them to level 60 without any issue. Yep. We can get it to level 60. The cheapest way to do so is, let's see, can we do this today? Where's 50? 50 is right there. So I believe that's going to be the cheapest way. 89 and 165,000. So that's going to be 244,000 if we do it that way. If we do it this way, take longer. Yeah, it's going to be 300 and what is that? 326,000, 27,000. So yeah, this will be the cheaper way to do it. 1 candy boost and then 304 unboosted candies. That will get him to 60. That would get him to 60, but that is, I mean, it's expensive, but we knew it would be. And it's cheaper to do it at lower levels than at higher levels. Oh, it tells me right there. I didn't even realize that it was right above it. I'm doing the math in my head. It's 254,000. Item usage tells me the number of candies, total of 354 and 254,260. Dream shards, that's expensive. That is expensive. And we got some expensive investments to make this week, so I don't think we're going to get them to 60 yet, but I think I'm actually going to back it up, and I'm going to invest in the Dragonite. If we're going to spend a lot of dream shards leveling something up, I think we're going to put it on the Dragonite. We only need to use a few small handy candies, which we have plenty of. We do have the Dragon type Candy M, but let's free up a little bit of extra space in here. We need to use 4 of them. A little bit more item bag space. And that'll let us do the 50. And that will get us a little over halfway through 58, which we were almost at 58. We weren't quite 58 yet. It gets us a little bit about halfway. Not too bad, not too bad. We'll go ahead and use that as 106,768. Yikes. Big yikes. But we could do it. We could do it. And now we need to, now that we've got Dragonite to 58, let's go ahead and say he's level 58 with 1,664 left to go with 2 candies. And we've got 3 of the medium candy. Ooh, not 30. We have 3 medium dragon type candies, which is not enough to get him there. Okay. Well, we've got 53 handy candies, so let's start there and work our way back. It will only cost 175. Actually, that's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. That is a lot cheaper. So this cross section here is just optimal candy usage. This cross section is where you use the optimal amount of candies, both boosted and unboosted. It doesn't look at cost, but I use this to look at the cost, total cost, try to save some dream shards if I have the candies to be able to do so, which we do. Do we? Maybe. Let's see, 53 times 3, that is 159 plus the 40. So yeah, 199 candies is how many I have. So anything above that I can't do. With my current level of candies, not including the medium and the large, I can get to level 60 using 174,000. That's not bad. And only need to boost another 36 candies. That's looking like a pretty solid investment. We would have to use all of our small handy candies, but if we want to get to that optimal number, let's say we boost exactly 50, we'd need 185 candies in total, and it costs less than 200k, so that's actually not bad. One more candy boost, and then a bunch of handy candies thrown into them to get them to 60 is not bad. We might do that. We might do that this week. I also need to go through and look at Tyranitar and some others, see which ones I want to do this with, and go from there. But for now, that's our mini candy boost for today. So let's go ahead and move on. We do have something else to talk about before we part ways today. I'm hoping that I'm just gonna let the team sit, do their thing, and I'm hoping by the time we're done talking about all of this, we will have the information we need. or not the information, the skill triggers we need. That's the word. Skill triggers. We want skill triggers. So hopefully we get those pretty soon. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Toxel Toxtricity. And let's see what we want to do about this, because I've already been kind of informed about them. I haven't actually looked at the information myself, but I have been told. And I'm not super thrilled. I was hoping that it would be something better, but maybe there's some more information in here that makes me change my mind. Let's check and see real quick. So I did know that Toxel's main skill was Ingredient Magnet S, which baby form kind of makes sense, especially once we look at Toxtricity. It'll make a little bit more sense. It's not going to stay in baby form for too long, so we're not really going to talk too in depth about it. Hopefully you will evolve it pretty soon, but it does require level 23 and 80 candy to evolve, and the nature determines what it evolves to. Okay. So the list for the amped form is hardy, docile, quirky, lax, impish, hasty, naive, jolly, brave, naughty, adamant, sassy, and rash. That determines what, if it'll evolve into the amped form. And the low-key form is all the opposites: bashful, serious, relaxed, bold, timid, lonely, gentle, calm, careful, mild, quiet, modest. I'm not sure if this lines up with the main series. I only ever got the one Toxel in my playthrough of Sword and Shield, and I got the amped form. Don't remember what its nature was. So these natures may line up one for one with the main series. Probably would. I don't know why they would change it, but there you go. Small little random tangent, I guess. But that's what you're looking for, depending on which one you want. The interesting part that's going to come in, I'll go ahead and put this here if you want to pause the video and look at the different spawns. Actually, no, we'll go through this because Toxel spawns are actually important, because that's probably what we're going to be catching. Most likely not going to be trying to catch Toxtricity outright most of the time. Toxel spawns on Greengrass Isle. Great 1 for the 1-star sleep, Great 5 for the 2-star sleep, and Ultra 1 for the 4-star. And then for the 1-star on Old Gold Power Plant, you need Basic 1, which is right off the bat. That's pretty simple. Only takes 950,000 drowsy power to get the 1-star, which we're well above that right now, thanks to that extra tasty. So there's a decent chance we'll see it tomorrow, even without the incense. Then we've got the 2-star at Basic 3. So we've already got that unlocked as well. And then the 3-star is at Great 4, which we're almost there. We'll certainly be there by the end of the day. And the 4-star is at Basic 4. So really, if we want to catch Toxel, might not want to push the ranks too hard, too fast. Maybe Master 1 is a pretty good place to start chilling out, I would think, because that does give us several attempts for it to spawn in that 8 spawn pool, but also a decent amount of drowsy power to spend on multiple spawns of them. So maybe we see more of them around there, but not too bad. And then on Expert Greengrass, the numbers look pretty, nope, they're not similar. They start out similar. Basic 1 for Expert Greengrass, and for the 1-star, and then for the 2-stars, Great 1, 3-stars, Ultra 2, and the 4-stars, Ultra 3. So that's very interesting. Those of you that are on Greengrass, you'll have to let us know how many Toxel you see this week. I'm kind of curious how that's going to work out. But if you want to hunt Toxel, that's where it's at. That's why I'm here on OGPP, because not as diluted of a spawn pool as it is on Greengrass, even though this boosted spawn pool with the Seal Specialist is kind of crowded on OGPP, but it's crowded with a lot of Pokemon that I do want to catch, so I'm not really super upset about it. And honestly, given what we know about Toxel and Toxtricity, I'm kind of not really that worried about it. I want to catch one, want to catch a good one for the collection, but let's see if something can change my mind about it. The main skill for the amped form is plus Ingredient Magnet S, and for the low-key form, it's minus Cooking Power Up S. So the exact same as with Plusle and Minun. Yeah. Plus Ingredient Magnet S, plus Ingredient Magnet S. Why are they listed separately? Okay, maybe it's not the same. Let's find out. Why are you listed separately? 5 plus 6, 18 plus 12. Oh, the numbers are different. The numbers are different, so technically, better performance out of Toxtricity. The numbers are different. So for Plusle, 5 plus 6 at level 1. At level 7, the one that really matters, 18 plus 12. And then for Toxtricity, it's 18 plus 14 at level 7 and gets you a number of ingredients chosen at random. Meet certain conditions to get additional ingredients, which is having minus on the team. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm very surprised that they made it different. Okay. Well, is it the same for minus? No, minus is the same. But Toxtricity has the higher skill trigger rate. Okay, let's check out minus. Gives your cooking pot room for more ingredients. Next time you cook, meet certain conditions to also restore a number of energy to one random Pokemon on your team, which has a lot of energy, but it's random. It could trigger multiple times, could trigger 5 times on a base Toxtricity, which is really nice. 5 times on a base for the pot expansions. That's really good. Actually, hold on. Let's go look at some numbers real quick. Cooking power up S. Okay. So it's 31 at level 7. But it's, where was it? 5.18 for neutral. These are all neutral numbers. Or 24, but 5.31. So yeah, technically the regular Cooking Power Up S is stronger if you don't have Plus on the team. But if you do have a Pokemon running Plus, either Toxtricity or Plusle, then you get that extra energy, which is nice. But again, it's random. So it's nice, but the odds of it going on the 1 out of 5 Pokemon you want is 20%. So there's that. Although they probably, I would assume, this is an assumption on my part, I would assume that they have geared it in a way that it targets the Pokemon with the lowest energy more often than not. Still not guaranteed to go to that lowest energy Pokemon, but more likely to do so. So not a flat 20%, but that would be nice if they did do that. That would be nice. But I'm very surprised that Plus is different. Very surprised there. Also really surprised that it's a higher number for Toxtricity when Toxtricity has a higher base or average rate, not base rate, average rate than Plusle. Interesting. Okay, well, that does mean I want Toxtricity over Plusle. But I was hoping they would get something a little more interesting, a little more unique. Like everybody, I was assuming they were getting Plus and Minus, but I was hoping it was going to be something different. But either way, not too bad. I mean, honestly, the ingredient finding rate at 23.9%, that I'm not 100% familiar with all of the ingredient rate numbers, but for a skill specialist, that seems a bit on the higher side. But I'm not complaining because I think it's Aggron, and ingredient specialist has like 28 or 29%. So to get 24% out of a skill specialist, that's pretty interesting. And the ingredients could also be very interesting. Is it the same for Loki? Yeah, it's the same. 23.9 for both. They both have the same base skill trigger rate too. So we'll just go through all this once. 6.4% skill trigger rate for Toxtricity, which is also very nice for a skill specialist. I like it. Again, I'm not 100%. I don't have all the numbers memorized, but 6.4% does feel on the higher side for me. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. The Pity Proc is 46. Interesting. Pity Proc system, for those that don't know, if you don't get a skill trigger in 46 productions, you will get one on the 46th. So you're guaranteed to at least get one every 46. And that's probably the only reason I was getting any skill triggers last week with Gardevoir was from the Pity Proc system. So that's fun. But we're leaving last week in the past. Let's move forward. The base frequency is 51 minutes and 40 seconds, which feels kind of slow. Well, no, it is a poison type. I was going to say it feels slow for an electric type, but they went with poison this time around, which perfectly fine. Getting those Chesto berries is nice, but with that high of an ingredient rate, probably going to be getting more ingredients than you would expect out of this. I like it. Base inventory of 18. So we definitely want inventory up. Since it is a skill specialist, we want to get as many skill triggers as possible. So we want 1 inventory up, we want some helping speed, and we want some skill triggers with, I think the better combination is a speed up nature with skill trigger sub skill. I believe that produces slightly better results, if I remember correctly, over skill trigger up nature, but either one is still going to be very good. We're talking about a small difference. If you get main skill chance up, don't be disappointed. It's still good. I just think speed of help up is slightly better if I remember correctly. But not too bad at all. The ingredients is milk, apples, and leeks. Which, again, ingredient spread doesn't really matter because it's a skill specialist, but since it does have such a high ingredient rate, getting a nice ingredient spread would be fun. I don't know that I would want leeks personally, and this is just personal preference. You may want leeks, and if you do, that's perfectly fine. But I feel like a decent combination between apples and milk would be nice. Just for the little bit of extra ingredients, but if you really want to maximize that is skill trigger rate, I believe that it said milk, and cocoa, or not cocoa. Wow, where did I get cocoa from? Milk, and leeks is the best combination because it takes up less inventory space, but that's really only if you are just have a long time in between collections. If you're collecting every hour, 2-3 hours, probably not filling up inventory all that much, so it's probably not really affecting you too much, but just be aware of that milk, and leeks is technically the ideal spread to maximize the skill triggers that you get per day. But all in all, I'm not super excited. They do seem interesting. I'm not completely disappointed. They seem interesting. I do want to catch good ones for the collection, like I said. However, they're not as exciting as I'd hoped they would be. This is one of my favorite Pokemon that was introduced in Sword and Shield, and I used it on my playthrough team. Like, as soon as I got it, it was on my team, and I used it all the way through the league. Actually, all the way through post-game, too. Yeah, all the way through post-game. So I was really hoping it was going to be good so I could use it here, but I don't foresee myself using one all that often. But it definitely has a place on the right teams with the right players. It's just not appealing to me, and if you like it, that's fine. You like it, go for it. I'm just here to give you the information and my personal opinion for how I play the game. Personally, seems like it could be interesting in the right scenario. I could probably find a use for it, especially cooking power up, low-key form. Could be really good. I would like to find a way to incorporate at least one of them on a plus-minus team, but I think we just need more Pokemon with plus-minus first that have varying skills. To really make some interesting combinations. I think the plus-minus interplay is really interesting. We just need a little bit more variety to really make some interesting combinations. And that is where I think plus and minus is really going to shine here in 6 to 12 months when we get some more Pokemon that have unique plus-minus skills. But all in all, Toxtricity for me personally, kind of middle of the road. The ingredient and skill trigger rate, especially the skill trigger rate, is really nice. The pity proc system, really nice. Or the count, not the system itself. The system itself is nice, but the count is what I meant to say. Yeah, I will be hunting them, of course, because we're here. But I don't know that I'll be using and investing in them anytime soon. But like I said, if you like what you see and you want to use them, you want to build a team around them, go for it. I'm not saying don't do that. Just the way I see it for my own personal use. But that said, that is what we know about Toxtricity and Toxel in Pokemon Sleep. So yeah, hopefully that was some good information. I'll sit here for a sec so you can pause. If you want to read over all those numbers, I'm not going to read them out. But gotta get pretty high to see Toxtricity. I would recommend catching Toxel though. It's going to be easier to catch. Toxtricity is going to take 20 hearts. That was the one thing I forgot to mention. 20 hearts to catch Toxtricity versus Toxel's 5. So definitely would recommend getting Toxel over Toxtricity. I do also wish there was maybe amped form was electric type and low-key form was poison type. That'd be very interesting. That would be very interesting. Although I guess it doesn't. Yeah, no, that would be interesting. I wish they would do that. Would have done that. That would have been really cool. I'd like to see more of these dual types get some way to switch things up a little bit. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. We'll get there eventually, I'm sure. But like I said, that's everything we know about Toxel and Toxtricity so far. My week is starting off pretty well. Let's see if we can end this on a good note. Probably not going to get skill triggers from the two of you. Nope, but more milk is what we need. And no, Durin berries is not what we need. We needed more honey. Not going to get one from you. Oh, wow. I take it back. Vikavolt showing up for work today. All right. Raichu, go to Mount Agrippa berries. Can we get a skill trigger from Gardevoir if Vikavolt shows up for work and Gardevoir still doesn't? That's going to be depressing. Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm still going to take the win that was the berry finding, but not Butterfree. I mean, it will be a Butterfree eventually, but berry finding Metapod that we caught plus the full odds extra tasty breakfast. I'll take it. I'll take that win with how last week went, and we are going to move forward and hopefully have a fantastic week. Hopefully you have a fantastic week as well, but that is where I'm going to wrap things up for today. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy these videos. A huge shout out to our ace trainers Illusion, YT Husky Star, JP Barty, Rogue Bastion, Josh Garrett, and SDK Posse. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you would like to support the channel, you can do so for as little as $1 per month by clicking that subscribe plus or that join button right below this video. You can also find the links in the description to my Ko-Fi for a one-off donation if you prefer, as well as to the live stream channels and the Discord where you can come hang out with us while we play other video games and talk about Pokemon Sleep. But other than that, y'all have a good night. And until next time, later, dudes.